shadow threatening the safety of peaceful worlds. An evil scientist who frightens children and is bent on slavery. A giant robot has seized the peaceful world and carried it off. Aloha's evil plan is to turn it into a huge private retreat for himself. Universal City Hall, here to help the people. Robbit can do the job. Let's go, Robbit! Jump and go! Jumping Flash!
So Jumping Flash is a game. 1995, jeez. Like, you often forget that the original PlayStation came out in 94. Because who remembers any games from before 96? This is one of them. Jumping Flash is a weird game that exists primarily to show off 3D on the PlayStation. It's kind of neat. I remember I had a demo of this as a kid. Never had the full game until I got it on PS1 and then never played it. Welcome to 1995's idea of 3D platforming. Okay, so that is an enemy. God, this is weird. Is there a strafe button? There isn't a strafe button. Okay. So we're supposed to get jet pods, which are giant carrots. I'm playing as a robotic rabbit being piloted by somebody called Robbit. You can double jump, and when you do your second jump, the camera automatically looks down to make sure you can see your bearings. Honestly, not a bad control style. Not a bad idea for that. I've played 3D platformers that came out way after this that still can't get precision platforming down well. Like this, like, you're gonna land exactly where the crosshairs are. It's a good idea. And this was still like a year before Super Mario 64 would come along and show us how 3D platforming really is. Which, like, you know, Super Mario 64 is fantastic and everything, but it's always been an interest of mine to check out the weird stuff. And this is weird. Not just because it's weird, but because it predates preconceived notions of 3D platformers. Which is really interesting. Still slip off the edge though. It's like the next year after this, we'd end up with Super Mario 64 and Crash Bandicoot, and stuff like Rayman would come out, and eventually we'd end up on stuff like Rayman 2. I'm sure there's a power-up that will give me a third jump. You know, for 95, that's actually an impressive draw distance. Like, yeah, the graphics are basic as hell, but still. I've seen games that came out like 2 years after this that had a way worse draw distance. And it's not the worst controlling first-person game I've played on the PlayStation. There was a sequel to this, Jumping Flash 2. Which is available on the US PSN, but not the European PSN, for some reason. That's all of them. What's that? Can I make it? Can I make it? Yes. Bonus stage! I had a demo of this as a kid. It was weird. Like, by the time I got a PlayStation, we were way past this as an idea of 3D platforming. But it always kind of stuck out to me because of how unique and interesting it was. And it's not a bad game. It's definitely something that you could walk off that. Definitely something that isn't as difficult to go back to as you would think. And I don't just say that because I spend a bunch of my time playing retro games, so I'm kind of used to archaic control. Because there's archaic control, yes. But there's also bad archaic control. Nice, just in time. And like you can get used to old control, but then some control has just aged so poorly that it is just painful to deal with. This isn't. This is fine. It's kind of it's fun in a really simple way. There was also a third game, Jumping Flash 3, that I don't think came out outside Japan. But I've never... No, continue. Why would pressing X give you that option? I've never actually played the second game. I've never seen the second game, I don't think.
Ready to go?
If there's one thing that I think is really cool about the design of this, it's the emphasis on verticality. It's like, the levels are designed... The story has a whole excuse for why the levels are these big, round stages. Which is fine. Whatever, I don't really care. But, like, the verticality is really cool. And, like, look at that draw distance for 1995. No fall damage, which I appreciate. There we go. That did actually damage me. There's a frying pan frying an egg over a volcano. There's another one. I do appreciate a nice bit of whimsy. There, let's go for the exit. Where is the exit? Is it that blue dot? No, I'm guessing, since that blue dot isn't moving on the radar, I'm gonna guess that that is north. There's the exit. Hot spring doesn't look like it's actually doing anything, but that's okay. Cherry bomb. You know, it's kind of cool how those lasers bend as you turn. That was neat. Here we go. Exit. I like this. I don't know if I'd like it after playing it for a couple of hours. But I like this. I might have to put this on a PSP and like do this bit by bit. Like, as a very stop and start game, this could be really fun.
Ready to go?
Oh god, I forgot there were bosses in this game. Wow, that did a lot of damage.
Danger.
Oh, jeez. So we end up with a problem with this being a 3D game. It has a focus on targeting here in this boss fight. The best way of dealing with that is to stand still and deal with it. If we had a way of strafing, that would be good. We can't even check options here. if there was some method of strafing, that would make this way less of a problem.
Get ready.
All we've got left is the cherry bomb. It's like there's not a reliable way of dealing with the fire breath, which is kind of a shame. So is this going to be my solution? Come on. Okay, so what we've played for now, if there's any one thing I would like the sequel to implement, it is circle strafing. Platformers have very rarely been good at doing bosses. It's kind of a shame.
We got zapped by the Robbit.
Forget it, dude. Sit down and relax.
Feels very Saturday morning cartoon, which isn't a bad thing. I can appreciate a good Saturday morning cartoon. Or a Saturday morning cartoon homage. I remember when I played Agents of Mayhem, which was the game Volition made after Saints Row 4 that was not Saints Row 4, but very clearly wanted to try and set itself apart. And it felt very much like a Saturday morning cartoon, with a lot of swearing in it. Which, like, the game wasn't great to begin with. Maybe we'll do a one-off of that, actually. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Like, the game wasn't great to begin with, but like if you'd stuck hard with your Saturday morning cartoon aesthetic and style, I'm not saying like make it for kids, like stick with the Saturday morning cartoon style and just make it like ridiculously violent maybe, but have everybody still act as though they're in a Saturday morning cartoon. Bam! You've got a different style then for what should be a parody rather than, yeah, no, this just feels like a Saturday morning cartoon, but everybody isn't acting like it. I don't know, we'll talk about that one if we do Agents of Mayhem for a weekend one-off, which I should do. We'll do it next time. Who knows? I suppose the biggest problem with this game, now that we're actually proper into it, is there's not much here. The different world designs and aesthetics is nice. I like that. Us being in a desert world now is a nice change from the first level, from the first world. But going around and collecting carrots as the entire basis of your game like this, I feel like you need to mix things up a little bit more in some way to really hold interest over a longer period. Which is why, like, if I put this on my PSP, my PSP Go, specifically so I can do stop and start, I'm not even sure this game can save. Using the pause game feature so we can stop and start. Like, that'd be specifically the point. Like, short bursts, great. Longer sessions, no, there is nothing here that keeps your interest that long if you're anywhere over the age of 5. It's simple, it's unique, it's got a bunch of charm. Where's that last jet pod? Yeah, simple, unique, it's got a bunch of charm. but there's nothing here to hold your attention over an extended period. And I suppose by an extended period, I really mean like 10 minutes. We're on 15 minutes now. And like, we did the first level, we got the bonus, we did the first boss, and that's kind of it. And I'm really just rambling now to try and pad out the time. Hello. You ever watched the streams, you've heard me ramble a bunch. I ramble a lot in the streams. Where is this last jet pod? There we go. I thought I'd check these platforms. There we go, now let's get out of here. Yeah, it's one of those games that has that somewhat difficult to judge point where during a jump you can no longer do the double jump. So you gotta be careful about the timing of it. A fun game. For 1995, if you had a PlayStation, would have been a cool idea. Would have been a bunch of fun you could have with it. But I don't think there's anything else for us to have here. So, well, I guess that's it for another weekend one-off. Thank you for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic time of day, and take care. Catch you next time.